Alcibiades was one of the most dazzling figures of the Golden Age of Athens. Born into an aristocratic Athenian family around 450 BC, he was a ward of Pericles and a friend of Socrates. He was extraordinarily wealthy, handsome, and charismatic, a skilled general and a ruthless politician. He was also a serial traitor, infamous for his dizzying changes of loyalty in the Peloponnesian War. Alcibiades was born into a life of privilege, but also one of early loss. His father, Cleinias, was a wealthy Athenian who died in battle when Alcibiades was just a young boy. His mother, Dynamache, came from the esteemed Alcmeonidae family. After his father's death, he was raised by his guardian, the renowned statesman Pericles. Even as a child, Alcibiades displayed a complex and often contradictory character. He was known for his confidence, his quick wit, and his captivating beauty, but also for his unruly behavior and his thirst for glory and recognition. One of the most significant relationships in Alcibiades' life was with the philosopher Socrates. Socrates, recognizing the young man's potential, took him under his wing and attempted to instill in him a sense of morality and virtue. Alcibiades, in turn, was drawn to Socrates' wisdom and integrity, admiring and respecting him deeply. Their relationship, however, was not without its complexities. Alcibiades, with his inherent ambition and desire for superiority, often struggled to reconcile his own desires with Socrates' teachings of moderation and self-control. Despite their differences, their association left a lasting impact on both their lives. Socrates would later be accused of corrupting the youth of Athens, with Alcibiades' actions cited as evidence of this corruption. Alcibiades' early exposure to warfare came at the Battle of Potidaea in 432 BC, where he served alongside Socrates. In a testament to their bond, Socrates is said to have saved Alcibiades' life during the battle, a debt that Alcibiades would later repay at the Battle of Delium in 424 BC. These experiences shaped Alcibiades' understanding of military strategy and solidified his ambition for military glory. Alcibiades entered Athenian politics in his early 30s, quickly rising to prominence. He possessed a natural talent for public speaking, captivating audiences with his charisma and persuasive rhetoric. He became a recognized speaker in the assembly, where he skillfully navigated the complexities of Athenian democracy. His ambition and desire for recognition were evident in his participation in the Olympic Games of 416 BC. He entered 7 chariots, more than any other contestant, and secured first, second, and fourth places. This extravagant display of wealth and athletic prowess further solidified his status and influence in Athenian society. As a military commander, Alcibiades served with distinction in several battles during the early years of the Peloponnesian War. He demonstrated his courage and strategic acumen, earning the respect of his troops and further enhancing his reputation in Athens. The Peloponnesian War 431 BC was a devastating conflict that engulfed the Greek world, pitting Athens and its allies against Sparta and the Peloponnesian League. Alcibiades, with his ambition, his shifting allegiances, and his military and political skills, played a pivotal role in the war's trajectory. In the early years of the war, Alcibiades emerged as a strong advocate for an aggressive foreign policy. He believed that Athens should assert its dominance and expand its influence throughout the Greek world. This belief led him to champion the Sicilian Expedition in 415 BC. With his persuasive oratory and strategic vision, he convinced the Athenian assembly to embark on this ambitious venture, despite opposition from more cautious voices like Nicias. Alcibiades argued that conquering Sicily would not only bring wealth and resources to Athens, but also weaken its enemies and solidify its position as the leading power in Greece. However, on the eve of the expedition, disaster struck. The Hermae, religious statues sacred to the god Hermes, were found mutilated throughout Athens. This act of sacrilege sent shockwaves through the city, and suspicion quickly fell upon Alcibiades. He was already known for his irreverent behavior and had been accused of impious acts in the past, including mocking the Eleusinian mysteries. Although there was no concrete evidence against him, the accusations damaged his reputation and fueled the animosity of his political enemies. Despite the controversy, Alcibiades set sail with the expeditionary force. However, he was soon recalled to Athens to face trial for the Hermae affair. While being transported back to Athens, he managed to escape custody at Thurii and fled to Sparta. This daring escape further cemented his image as a cunning and resourceful individual, capable of evading consequences and manipulating circumstances to his advantage. Sparta, Alcibiades was welcomed as a hero, offering his services to the enemy of his former city. He served as a strategic advisor to the Spartans, providing them with valuable insights into Athenian weaknesses and strategies. He advised them to fortify Decelia in Attica, a strategic move that cut off vital supply lines and resources to Athens. He also encouraged them to send aid to Syracuse, contributing to the eventual defeat of the Athenian expeditionary force in Sicily. Alcibiades' actions had a devastating impact on Athens, significantly weakening its military and economic power. During his time in Sparta, Alcibiades continued his pattern of controversial behavior. He seduced Timea, the wife of King Augeas II, further solidifying his reputation as a scandalous and unpredictable figure. This affair, however, also created powerful enemies within Sparta, eventually leading to his downfall there. Facing threats in Sparta, Alcibiades sought refuge with Tissaphernes, a Persian satrap. He served as an advisor to Tissaphernes, attempting to forge an alliance between Persia and Athens. He recognized the potential benefits of such an alliance, believing it could help Athens regain its strength and challenge Spartan dominance. In 411 BC, a group of Athenian oligarchs who had seized power in Athens saw in Alcibiades a potential savior. They hoped that his military prowess and political connections could help them consolidate their power and negotiate a favorable peace with Sparta. Alcibiades, ever the opportunist, agreed to help and played a key role in the establishment of the oligarchic regime. However, Alcibiades' loyalty to the oligarchs was short-lived. He soon fell out with them and, sensing a shift in the political winds, switched sides once again, this time supporting the restoration of democracy. He then led the Athenian fleet to a series of victories against the Spartans, including the crucial Battle of Cyzicus in 410 BC. These victories revitalized Athenian hopes and demonstrated Alcibiades' continued ability to influence the course of the war. In 407 BC, Alcibiades returned to Athens in triumph. He was initially welcomed as a hero and the charges against him were dropped. He was appointed general with full powers, effectively becoming commander-in-chief of the Athenian armed forces. He led the procession to the Eleusinian festival by road, a bold gesture that defied the Spartan threat and symbolized his renewed commitment to Athens. However, his triumph was short-lived. In 406 BC, the Athenian fleet under the command of Antiochus, whom Alcibiades had left in charge, suffered a defeat at the Battle of Notium. Although Alcibiades was not directly involved in the battle, his political enemies seized upon the defeat to discredit him. He was blamed for negligence and was not re-elected as general. This marked the beginning of his final exile from Athens. Alcibiades, once again a fugitive, sought refuge in Phrygia. He lived there with his mistress Timandra in a remote village. However, his past actions and his continued influence on Athenian affairs made him a target. In 404 BC, Spartan agents, likely acting on the orders of Lysander, arranged for his assassination. Persian troops surrounded his house and set it on fire. Alcibiades, attempting to escape, was killed by a volley of arrows. Alcibiades was a complex and fascinating figure who left an indelible mark on Athenian history. He was a brilliant general, a charismatic politician, and a master manipulator. He was driven by a thirst for glory and power, and he was willing to betray anyone to achieve his goals. His life was a whirlwind of triumphs and betrayals, of daring escapes and devastating defeats. He was a product of his time, a reflection of the dynamism and the turbulence of Athenian democracy. He embodied both the best and the worst of Athenian society, showcasing its potential for greatness and its capacity for self-destruction. His story continues to resonate today, offering valuable insights into the complexities of human nature, the challenges of leadership, and the enduring power of ambition.